Welcome back to Financial Reboot Show. Huge news to report right now. So look, before we get into anything else, I kind of want to tell you what happened in the last week. Let me just review my notes and you'll see it right here on screen. If you've been paying attention, which I hope most of you have been, I mean, a lot of you have been dialing into the show and saying, great show, thank you for the great information. But look, I mean, if you're following along to what we say week after week, letting you know what we're buying in our portfolio, what we're consulting on our clients to buy as well, you will notice some big trends. So we're going to pop up on the screen right now. Stocks that we mentioned last week, stock picks we mentioned last week, WPX, okay, just in the last week alone is up 8.5%. 8.5%. So, I mean, my gosh, that's better than most people do in a year. Another stock we mentioned last week, ADHD, is up 7% in just 1 week alone, since we talked about it last week on the show. The next pick we had, LPI. LPI was a great play. It was up 18% in the last week. And the final one that we talked about last week, TGD, Timmins Gold, that's up 13%. I mean, I don't know what the blended average is there, but that's well over 10% for the week. You advertise that over 52, that's a big number that doesn't even fit on my calculator. So the point is this, pay attention. Get involved. Text your questions to us. We'll put it right here on screen if you want to text your questions. 760-254-0003. Text the word show. It'll pop up right on our phone here at the studio. We'll answer your questions. Ask us any of these hard questions. It's fine. It's cool. We like that. But the point is this, don't let another day pass you by. Look, I know you've got that money sitting in the account, just sitting there, just kind of wasting away. Don't let that happen. Put that money to work. Leverage that money to actually grow. We've got a really cool show. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to mention, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago in the show, we had mentioned two other stocks, right? We mentioned PGNX. If you guys remember, if you're following along, we mentioned PGNX. Well, in the last 2 weeks alone, that's up 16%. 16%. Now, TGD that we also mentioned 2 weeks ago, right? We mentioned it last week and we also mentioned it 2 weeks ago. Just in the last week, it was up 13%, but since we mentioned it 2 weeks ago, it's up 20%. 20%. Are we real? Yeah. Are we superhuman? No, we do the work. We understand what's going on out there in the world. We make projected, educated review on what's going on in the market, and we make it happen. And more often than not, our portfolios and our client portfolios are doing this. They're just climbing that ladder. What's your portfolio doing? Is your portfolio climbing the ladder? Look, get a review with us. It'll be here on the screen. We're going to get into the show. We've got huge things to talk about. We got another really cool special guest who's got a great story just like yours, I guarantee. It's going to be awesome. And so let's have some fun. And let's make good money in the stock market while we do it. We're going to take a quick break, as we usually do, fill up with the good, sweet nectar of whatever this might be. It's our little special drink. We're going to take a quick break, give our sponsors a moment to shine, which is us, and we'll be right back. We'll see you in a minute. Look, here at Financial Reboot, we are all about value. If we don't give you value, then we're not going to survive in the marketplace. So the point is this, you want to make money in the stock market. We want you to make money in the stock market. We don't get paid unless we make you money in the stock market. It's quite simple. So we realize the importance of value. We realize the importance of trust. We realize the value of being personal with each and every person in our client and consultation services. So you have a unique situation and we want to give you that specific attention that you need. So listen, the thing to do right now is text the word review to the following text number, 760-254-0003, 760-254-0003. You'll see the number here below on the side. Get your review now. Let us dig into your account, see what's possible for you, and see what it takes to really learn to leverage the funds that you do have into something much, much bigger in the coming months and years in your portfolio. Till then, my name is Samuel Levis with Financial Reboot. We'll see you soon. Okay, so welcome back. Samuel Levitz here at the Financial Reboot. Now, before we get into this segment, I just want to mention to you that we've got a really cool special guest coming on, as we always do. All of our special guests are so cool. But this guy is cool because he's got a similar story to probably like many of you out there. So I want you to pay attention after this segment, so definitely stick around. We've got him coming up, and you're going to like it. So let's get right into the segment. I'm here again with Patrick Comer, our financial analyst here at Financial Reboot. Pat, hello.
Yes, sir. Thank
our
you.
Smart guy, as I call it, Pat, our smart guy. We want to kind of toot our own horn here for just a second, and really, it's less tooting our own horn and more like that algebra teacher. Like, did you do your homework, young Patrick? Did you do your homework? Because the truth is this: the truth is that over the course of each of these shows, we let you know basically what we're investing in, what we are investing in. Now, I know some of you that are texting into the show. By the way, you can always text it. You can text us right this second at 760-254-0003. Text the word show. Text the word show, and it will come live right into us. You could ask us your questions. We don't mind being interrupted with a question. We're cool.
Absolutely.
We can chat on the fly like that. It's cool. But the point is this: is that we kind of let you know we have this transparency to our company here, and we like to just kind of let you know what we're doing. And because of that, we just kind of want to show you what we've been doing. So Pat, let's get into it, and we'll put these slides on the screen for everyone, I think, right? Okay.
You bet.
So look, last week we mentioned WPX, right? Let's tell them what happened with WPX in just last week.
And just in the last week, it's up at about 8.5%. And it's a stock that we've talked about a few times. If you're following us, you probably could have even got it lower than that.
Yep.
Oil presented a big opportunity with the sell down 2 weeks ago. Then it had another opportunity on early this week. And if you were one of the brave ones and you went ahead and bought, then you're up about 8.5%. If you bought even before that, you'll probably be up even more.
8.5% a week, guys, is pretty darn good. I mean, I don't know what your money is doing right now in your savings account, but I guarantee you it's not doing 8.5%. So, look, we talk about these things on a weekly basis, and there's a lot of people that reach out to me on Facebook and our YouTube channel, and they actually call in and text in and say, they're dancing around, hey, I want to test you guys out. And it's like, well, this is a perfect way to test us out.
This is a perfect way to do it.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
We mentioned things in our show that we are currently buying, and you could certainly paper trade and just kind of do it at home and not buy, or you could buy whatever you want to do just to test us out. Now, we also talked last week about ADHD.
Yeah.
Right?
ADHD is
not the syndrome.
No.
Not the syndrome. The actual stock.
But ADHD is a little biotech stock, pharmaceutical, and it's up 7% since we talked about it. We've talked about this in the past also, and you probably could even got even lower than this. But it just had earnings. It had really great earnings. It's got a great product coming down the pipe. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's a wonderful company, and it's already up 7%. So it looks like we found a good entry point on it.
Yeah, and again, look, if you're up 8% in your portfolio in just a week, would you be happy taking profits of 8% a week? So our point here, and kind of our motto here at Financial Reboot is, and for our clients especially, we're not afraid to take profits, because profits build on each other, and that's how you leverage your portfolio to take it where it is to where you want it to go, and that's the whole point. We also talked last week, if you're paying attention, we talked about LPI, right? And LPI was up, I think, 18% in just the last week alone.
18% in the last week. Laredo Petroleum, this is just like WPX. They had earnings. They had very good earnings. There's a lot more room in this stock. WPX also. WPX had earnings and they weren't as good, but it's still on fire because there's so much potential in these, and they're beaten down so much that as oil prices rise, these balance sheets are going to get stronger, just like we've been saying. And people realize that, and that's why they're getting these stocks cheap. And so you want to get in.
And that you brought up a good point, and that is that it was no surprise that we own this stock and then they released their earnings.
Yes.
If you're paying attention at home, you got to understand what we do and why we do it. We get into a stock because we do. Pat and the entire team do the research on these things, thinking this is going to happen, and if this happens, and this is going to happen, and compounds it, right? So LPI released their earnings, and what happened? It just
You bet. It's been blowing up ever since.
It's been blowing up 18% in a week. Now, I do want to talk about this because this is kind of a little "we told you so" type one,
Yes.
and that is TGD Timmins Gold, right? We talked about Timmins Gold. Last, why don't you go ahead and talk about that, because this is interesting.
Timmins Gold is a little gold company, and you know, if our viewers are following gold plays, you're probably familiar with VGZ, which was a little gold mining stock that made a nice gains. Timmins Gold is the same model as that, and it's still down around. When we first started calling it, it was a low 50 cents, but it's probably, we're looking for it to be about $1.25, $1.50. And so we're looking for even bigger gains in this. But if you jumped into it earlier this week, you're already up 13%. It just had earnings. The earnings were blowout earnings. But on these smaller stocks, what happens is generally people buy the rumor, which is a good earnings report, and then they'll sell the news, which is the actual earnings report. That's exactly what happened with this stock.
Now, if you are paying attention at home, or even if you're not, this is something I want to really pay attention to, because last week we talked about TGD, Timmins Gold.
You bet.
And since we spoke about it last week, it's up 13%, as Pat just mentioned. However, there's a comma. We also talked about it 2 weeks prior. And, you know, if you would have bought 2 weeks prior,
Yeah.
tell them what would have happened.
You'd be up even more. I think you'd be up 20% right now.
At 20%.
Yeah.
So,
And here's the thing, Samuel, just a little caveat on this. If you had sold yesterday, you would have even got a lot more, because it actually went as high as 60, 61 cents. So if you were just playing a short-term play, you could have took profits. And we're looking for a double and even more. So we were willing to hold through it. And if we get our price again, we'll buy some more, because we like the company that much. But yeah, if you had gotten into it 2 weeks ago when we actually called the stock, you'd be up about 20% right now.
So this is our "We Told You So" segment that we like to do here, not to really rub salt in your wound. It's really more to like light a fire under your keister and say, look, let's get you moving. Look, we know what we're doing. We don't just gamble with money here. We research. You know, Pat and the team are up at 2:33 every morning, weekends included, to research all these things for our own personal accounts. I mean, not only am I the president of Financial Reboot, I'm a client. And there's a reason I'm a client, right? Because I was the one having trouble in my portfolio, just like many of you years ago, and I needed help.
Yeah.
And so what we created is that exact help that people can have, and this is why we're so proud
And
of it.
Samuel, how was your Friday?
Oh, geez. I shouldn't say in case the IRS is watching. It was good. I had a good day. I had a good day. The point is this. Look, just take action. You'll see the review here somewhere on the screen. Text the word review. Get that review. Let us take a look at what you got. Well, we were just on the phone with this guy out in Dubai. Not the phone, but I was messaging with this guy in Dubai who was so excited to get started, right? This guy.
Yeah.
And just a cool cat. And man, I feel his excitement because he's able to get started and get that help that, you know, he never thought he could have with finances. Finances is always this thing that has kind of been in this iron box. It's like, oh, you know, whatever that was. But the point is this, you know, it's like it's this personal thing. Like, oh no, but that's exactly the point. You need a team of experts to look into that iron box of yours and say, you might want to consider this. And this is what we're doing, getting us 8% a week, 16% a week, 20% a week. Not saying, and a disclaimer, not saying this is our results. Your results may vary. This is what our attorneys tell us to do. The point is this: you need to change. You need to change.
Absolutely.
Text the word review. We're going to get into the core portfolio in the next segment, because this is, you're going to want to pay attention to this, because this is big stuff. We're going to take a shameless, and I mean shameless, plug for this amazing company. They're doing a commercial right now. I know our sponsors are just amazing.
That's
for
just
the show.
growing like wildfire.
We're going to do that right now. Fill up on our sweet nectar beverage. We'll be right back after the segment. Welcome back This is a fun segment. We just we just got done talking about how awesome we had of a week last week, right? I'm here again with Patrick. He heads our he's our chief investment strategist here at Financial Reboot. And you know, a lot of people that have been calling in and asking questions and kind of feeling us out, they want to know our different strategies. We talked in the last couple of shows about our different strategies and how we do what we do and why we have the success that we have. But in this particular segment, Pat, I want to talk to the viewers out there and the listeners on the podcast about kind of our core portfolio and what we're in and why we're in it. Yeah. So let's start with CAFD.
Yeah, and just to speak about the core portfolio, you know, people, it's easy to get the impression that we're just day traders or super short-term traders that are just buying and selling stocks willy-nilly. But really, we're no different in the base sense of any other sensible investors. We have a core portfolio. There are stocks that we are willing to buy and hold for extended times. We're just not willing to buy and hold dogs.
Right.
So, and these are always evaluated, but we are looking for longer term goals.
So that's a good play too. That's a good, he brought up a really good point. Let's touch on that because a lot of clients come to us like they say, you know, I've got all this money in one stock. So sometimes there's a gestation period when we start working with our consultation clients to get their portfolio freed up of what we call the cancer. Let's cut out the cancer. Let's get that portfolio making some good steady profits. Absolutely. And then when you're at a healthy level and a healthy ROI inside your portfolio, it's at that point that we leverage them into what we consider core portfolio to really skyrocket profits and stabilize, so you never have that worry about, you know, am I going to lose my, you know, our core portfolio is so strong, and you'll see that here in just a sec.
Yeah.
So look, do you want to talk CAFD?
Let's talk CAFD first, because that's one of our, that's probably the first core portfolio we built, stock. And that's a solar play, 8.3. And we bought that in the low 14s. It's been as high as 16, maybe mid 16 since then. But it's got a very strong dividend, and it has enough cash in its bank to pay that dividend for 6 years. So that dividend's not going anywhere. It's another company that better oil prices strengthen the balance sheet. So we want to own this as long as oil's bullish, as long as that dividend is proper. We're going to own this, and we're going to keep it in the portfolio, and we're going to reap the benefits of it.
You know, last week we had a client text in during the show, and we couldn't answer his question on the show. So we apologize for that because it came in just a little bit late.
Yeah, it did.
But he, you know, we love smart questions. You guys come up with really cool questions. And this guy had asked about First Hawaiian Bank and the IPO and the stock holding of First Hawaiian Bank, because we're here in Hawaii, but he must have been a local, I guess. I'm not sure where he's from, but he asked about First Hawaiian Bank. So let's talk about that, because you know, when you guys ask these questions, our team goes to work and we start researching it, because there's thousands and thousands of stocks that we can play, and we pick great stocks. And you know, some we just might not know about or not on our radar because we're in a different sector. But at this point, we looked at First Hawaiian Bank when he asked, and let's tell him what happened.
And First Hawaiian Bank was actually something we had looked forward to. The IPO was set for a couple weeks ago on Thursday or Friday. But we'll be honest with you.
We're always honest with you.
We are very honest with you. First Hawaiian Bank is a stock that we love. Of any of the banks in Hawaii, it's the most efficient, it's the most well-run, it's the biggest brand recognition. You can't go anywhere without seeing a First Hawaiian Bank rainbow logo. You know, we just love the stock, and we wanted to see how it came out of the IPO, because these things can get really strange in those first 1 or 2 days of trading. So if you look on the website, we responded to the question through a video, and we actually gave our buy points and our price target.
Yeah.
So, and we wanted to buy it under $26. We got lucky. It's been under 25 for the last week. We bought during the week, and on Friday it popped over 25.
Yeah.
So people are starting to.
So the point is, we love your questions, and don't think that you know, we're too big to answer your questions. We love your questions, and we will work night and day to answer all of your questions. So
you bet.
Text the word show to 760-254-0003. I've got my phone right here. I see all of the ones that come in. Rick, thank you so much. May, Irina, thank you so much. We're answering all these questions right now.
Absolutely.
So let's talk PGNX.
PGNX is Progenics. That's another bio or pharmaceutical. And this one has a relister that just got a FDA approval. Opioids are the number one problem, Americans are the number one consumers of opioids. With opioid consumption comes constipation. They make a injectable constipation drug for opioid users because it's pain medication. It's very common, but they just got approved on an oral relister, an oral version of it. So there's big things down the pipeline for this company. They just had earnings. They had very good earnings. They had very good guidance. So this is a core portfolio stock.
Right.
We are either looking for it to be bought out, the relister to be bought out, or we're just looking for at least maybe triple on this stock. So we're willing to hold on to this as long as it doesn't turn into a dog.
Right.
But
Now,
it's already up, I believe.
the PGNX, yeah.
PGNX is...
I don't, do we have? Oh, 16.
It's already up 16%. So.
And it's already up 16% since we last talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's averaging 8% a week. That's spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, we get a little desensitized here because, we're almost used to what the world calls spectacular results. And let me just tell you, it's a good thing to get used to, right? So if you're not a client, be a client. Right. So, look, Irina is asking about. She says, is TGD in the core portfolio?
Yes. We're looking for big things from this. It might not be in for years like a lot of core portfolio items might be. But TGD, we are looking, like I said, if you're following the stock, go take a look at the VGZ chart. That's what we're looking for from TGD. And we feel like even with gold prices not going up from here, even if they just stagnate, this still has so much in the pipeline. They're pulling up great amounts of gold. They're debt free. They paid their debt off. There's a lot of reasons to own this, and we're looking for, just like VGZ, that was something that the hysteria for it came in at about 50 to 60 cents. It went up as high as $1.35. So we're looking for even a little better with TGD.
Now, each week we like to give our viewers and listeners an idea of what we are buying in our portfolio. Right? Because if you've been following along, I say this every week, but if you've been following along with us, every week we give you an idea of what we are buying. We're not telling you to go buy things. Our attorneys won't allow that, which is cool. We're cool with that. However, we can say, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. And like we mentioned in one of the last segments, stocks that we mentioned just last week, and we could probably pull it up here on screen real quick. WPX just in the last week was up 8.5%. ADHD just since last week's show is up 7%. LPI just since last week's show is up 18%. TGD just since last week's show is up 13%. And if you would have paid attention to the show before that 2 weeks ago, it's up 20%. So if you rested on your laurels that last week, you missed out on 7% growth in a week. Shame on you. Don't do that again. That's real money. Let's talk about we have one core portfolio play that we do that we save just for our consulting clients. And there's a reason for that. You want to just briefly, we won't tell them what it is because we don't give that away, but why do we like these huge performing core portfolio stocks? Like what's the...
Well, people's old school impression of core portfolios there's something that you buy and you hold for
Forever,
years. If you get 1 or 2% a year on it and a little bit of dividend, it's a great thing. But really what we pick for our core portfolio is what we consider the long-term superstars. The stocks, anybody that's been involved with the stock market in the last 5-10 years knows so many stocks just, they blow up and then they just come back down. With the core portfolio, we're looking for long-term growth, but not average growth. We're looking for those superstars. These would be normal plays for us, our momentum, short-term swing trades, whatever. but we see something a little extra in them, and we see longevity. So that's why they go into the core portfolio.
And let me just tell you, this is one that's in our core portfolio for our own, our corporate accounts and our client accounts. And let me just say this, although I'm not going to give you what it is because we save it for our paying clients, it is so sexy. I mean, it is so wonderful. So look, that's just a little teaser, But listen, we give, each week, we like to give an idea of what we're buying in our account. Can you just tell them right now what it is we've got our eye on this week and why?
We're looking at CARB, C-A-R-B, Carbonite. We like this company, just had earnings, very good earnings. The stock blew up a little bit, ran away a little bit, so we didn't buy right away. But now it's back down to about the $13 level. We like it around there, just under 13, around $13. We won't chase it, but it's been very stable at this level. So we're looking to accumulate at this point. Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're paying real close attention, it's CARB is what we're buying in our portfolio right now as we speak at time of this. So I don't know, maybe it's a good idea if you look at what we did just last week alone. Maybe it's a good idea to just test it out for yourself. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do because I can't. I'm just saying that maybe it's time for a change. So look, we're going to get into a segment. We got thank you, Pat. We appreciate you coming out. We're going into a segment right now with a special guest like we like to do every week. We're going to take a quick sweet nectar break and a quick little commercial, and we will be right back with our special guest. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much.
Would you like a team of financial investment experts to consult with you on your financial portfolio and your investment goals for free? We'd be happy to personally review and consult on your investment goals based on your current portfolio. Now, we do this by listening to you and your needs, finding out what your goals are, cash flow, long-term stability, whatever it might be. And then we design you a custom investment plan for you specifically to get you there in the fastest possible time. And all this is accomplished with our extensive 45 years of cumulative investment experience inside the stock market. And then we give you an exact custom blueprint showing you the exact steps that we would take if that was our portfolio. Now, I know many of you are asking, why are you giving away such a valuable free portfolio review for free? And it's simple. I know that a certain percentage of people we do this for will want to use our expertise to help them on a regular basis and become a client. Instead of trying to convince you to work with us, we prefer to help you in advance for free and let the value of that experience do the selling for us. And once you get your consultation, one of the three things is going to happen. First possibility is you're going to hate it. You're going to have the consultation, you're going to feel like we provided no value and we wasted your time. Now, this literally has never happened, but in the event that you feel we wasted your time, we will gladly send you $100 as compensation for the time that we spent together. Sound fair? Cool. The second possibility is that you might decide to implement our suggestions to repair and grow your portfolio yourself. If that's the case, we wish you luck and the best of opportunities to you and be happy that we have helped you. Now, the third and most common scenario is that you're so thrilled and excited from our consultation that you ask us to assist you in growing your portfolio every step of the way. And now, in the event that that's your decision, here's how that works. We take you through what we call our 3-step cleansing process and then our 5-step portfolio acceleration plan, where we literally consult you on every aspect of your portfolio day in and day out with our team of experts. Nothing is outsourced. All the work and research is done here in-house by our professional investment analysts. That means that we craft your investment goals personally. We review your current holdings for profitability and risk exposure personally. We research the best picks based on your investment goals that are particular to you and your situation. Literally, everything is done for you. We provide personal video updates based on your account holdings that you get regularly, all done by our in-house senior investment strategists personally. Now, if that's the path you decide to go down, you might be wondering about the cost. So if that's where you want to go, let me tell you how that works, because it's always something that you want to pay attention to when you're finding out services like that. And if we're a good fit, which I'm 100% positive that we can help you, if that's the case, our service only starts at 3%, but that's only if we make you a guaranteed 6%. So it's basically like you're playing with house money. And so, yeah, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet on a conference call. We can share screen if need be. During that meeting, we're going to ask questions so we get to understand you and your situation. and start creating the portfolio of your dreams. Now, to do this, we're going to be in real time with you present so you can really create something transformational in your finances. And when the meeting is over, we will email you further research on what we found, an exact blueprint to achieve your financial goals. So you can use it as you see fit. And from there, you can either use the blueprint, go off and manage your own portfolio yourself with your newfound expertise, or if you like, we can discuss having you on as a client on a monthly basis to make sure that you are moving forward in your financial goals. And of course, in the unprecedented event that you think we wasted your time, we'll give you $100 as compensation for wasting your time. So literally, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain by getting this portfolio review for free. Now, just like these happy and profitable customers that you see below. With that in mind, click the link below to get started right now. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. Before we go any further, you need to know that we just can't and won't work with just anyone. In order for us to do this free work for you, you need to meet some strict but very reasonable criteria. Now, first of all, this is not for people who want to micromanage our investment experts or complain if a pick takes a wrong turn on occasion, which some will, let's be honest. I mean, they do their job extremely well, arguably some of the best available on the planet. You'll need to be willing to bring a minimum portfolio size of $250,000. And thirdly, you must be a nice person and easy to work with. I mean, our clients are more like family and partners rather than just clients. We need to like and trust each other, right? So if you meet these three, it's simple rules, and you want us to personally create your free portfolio review blueprint, here's what you need to do next. Click the link below. And once on that link, you'll be taken to a simple questionnaire. It's very simple. It takes about 45 seconds to complete and just gives us a basic foundation on your finances, what you're looking to accomplish. Then we use this information to prepare in advance, right, for our call. Once we have that information, you'll be able to select a time from our calendar that best fits your schedule so we can have our discussion. And that's it. We'd be delighted to help you for free. And if you get value and decide that we provided you some great value and you want to become a client, that's great. Welcome aboard. So are you ready to get started? Click the link below and let's get you started now. Okay, welcome back to the Financial Reboot Show. This is one of my favorite segments that we do here every week, or at least every week we try to do that. And that is that we pull out someone from our customer base, maybe someone from one of our websites, a subscriber at our YouTube channel, to ask questions. Maybe we do a quick little interview and we find out, what's the pulse on our viewership and what questions do they have, or maybe why did they join our service. Or someone that we like to pull out is, maybe someone just like you that's in a similar situation. So this is why I love these segments, because it relates directly to so many of you at home that are going through similar situations. So without further ado, let me introduce our special guest, Tom Patty from California. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing excellent, Samuel, and hello to Pat as well.
Thank you very much, man. Great to have you on the show. So Tom, let's just tell the people real quick. I mean, you're a new client here with Financial Reboot. Thank you, by the way, for joining our services. But why don't you give everybody a quick little background on who you are, what you do, and then why you kind of came to our services.
Sure. Here's my situation. I'm a current business owner. So that my time is spent micromanaging my business and other business interests that I have, in addition to which I'm also a candidate in this current election cycle, which means I have very little time for management of a portfolio, and it's certainly not my expertise. If you came to me about construction equipment or some of the services I offer, I would be an expert and a consultant in that regard. But I am truly at a loss, and I've actually on many occasions, I've lost money in the market because I've had portfolios that just sit stagnant, and there's ebbs and tides that come and go on a daily basis, and I'm not on that inner circle of information that comes through the investment network as you guys are. So finding Financial Reboot and what you guys offer is an incredible asset for me and my time management and the financial management of my portfolio, which is in need of some help at this time.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Tom, because that's exactly why I started this company. Because Pat and I started this company, I should say. Sorry, Pat. You know. But this is why we started this company, because I don't know if you remember my story, but years ago I was following a stock picking guru, a supposed stock picking guru, and he would say, he would send an email out, buy this stock. Well, he didn't know anything about my current financial situation. He knew nothing about what was currently in my portfolio, how many shares I owned of what stock, what purchase price I had it in, if I was over leveraged in the account. There was no degree of personal attention inside my accounts. And so I would get these, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would get these emails saying, hey, buy this stock. And then a week later, hey, buy this stock. Hey, buy. I'm like, where am I going to get the money to buy this stock? I like fully leveraged. I put in all my money in that stock you said to buy last week. And now what? Should I sell to buy this other stock? It's like, no one in this industry, at least very few people in this industry, give a personal attention. And this is why I love and I'm so proud of what we do here. And this is what, now you as a new client, you're going to find this out in the coming weeks and months. You're going to really start to understand how we're different from everyone else. So because the personal attention inside your specific portfolio and your account, what's going on a daily basis, man, there is no substitute for that. You're gonna love it.
Well, Samuel, that's actually nails it right on the head, because I actually feel as though I'm important as an investor, and my portfolio at this time truly matters in a personal sense for you guys, and that's something I haven't gotten from friends of mine that have been stockbrokers and financial advisors in the past. I mean, you guys truly are actively engaged, and it's just a full, what seems like a 24-hour engagement of what's happening, what's next, what we're doing, and how to take advantage of what's about to happen or is current in the market.
Oh man, and just wait. I mean, Tom, you're brand new, so we're onboarding you as we speak, and I wanted to pull you out because you got such a cool story that I wanted to share. But watch what's going to happen, Tom, this week, like in the next 2 to 3 days. It's going to be really, I can't wait to actually pull you out on the show maybe in another week or two. So you'd be like, holy cow, I can't believe that just happened in a week or two. So anyway, tell everyone your situation. Like you came to us because you were very much leveraged in one particular stock. Can you talk about that real quick? Because I think a lot of people are in that similar situation in their finances, kind of locked in, not knowing what to do.
Well, we all, through whatever source can come our way, we all get an inside tip or a heads up on something that's about to happen or a great stock that's going to break. And so I had some money, and I really went all in on it to reap the benefits of what is potential but hasn't yet materialized. So what's happened is there's been a little spike, and there's been a drop, and there's been a big drop, and there's been a big spike, but there's been a bigger drop. So through this cycle, my assets are increasing or decreasing, and mostly on the downside for sure. And it's really mostly just stagnant. Nothing's happening.
Right.
And so my money's not working for me. There's no asset increase in value, and there's certainly been more of a decrease, to be quite honest. So
how long have you had this particular stock?
I'd say about 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
Would be at least about 8 months would be fair.
Okay, so you from a friend, a hot stock pick from a friend, you decided to buy, basically with all your extra cash in your portfolio, you decided to buy this one stock holding, yes?
That's correct.
Okay, so this is exactly what I did years and years ago. I was just tapped out. I had no other moves. And so you've had this stock for about 8 months. It's basically gone down in value significantly or minorly, or?
Well, it had dropped significantly. At one point it had gone up significantly, and it was supposed to keep going up. Well, there's a massive correction in that sector, and so everybody got hit, including my stock. And so we're in some stages of wait at this time. So there's nothing much happening with it. And and I might say that having had a diverse portfolio in the past, and with a manager. The problem has been, something's up 2%, something else is down 6%, something else is up 4%, and you realize you have all of these, this diversified portfolio, but truly not much is happening.
Yeah.
It's minor increases when it leverages up, but you've covered the board and you're into all of the safe sectors, and it's diversified and such, but it's not active. It's just sitting there.
Yep.
And for when you look at year after year after year. And then there's a massive correction comes along, and all of a sudden 40% of your value is gone. You're like, this is not happening, and I'm certainly not on the inside track. When the insiders know that when it's time to sell Apple and buy Facebook, I didn't get those emails, so I'm maybe stuck with the Apple while it drops 60, 40, 50%, and all of a sudden Facebook pops up 70%. I'm not on the inside track of it, and that's where Financial Reboot. You guys seem to have your finger on the pulse of what is happening and the trends, and you're also safeguarding. From the unexpected.
That's a perfect, well said. We safe harbor. So one thing we're going to train you as a new client here, and this is what all of our clients really like, and I see that the studio here agreeing with this, and that is that we train our clients to not be afraid to take profits. Kind of know when to take profits, and hey, if you made 20% in a 2, 3, 4 week time, killer, take it. We can re-leverage it. We can re-leverage that money into another play, so that then becomes playing with house money. So that 20% can turn into another 40%, can turn into exponential growth in a relatively short period of time. But if you don't know the proper time to take profits, then you're toast. And this is what so many people suffer with. So good point, man. Really, really good point. So let me just tell you what's in store for you, because this is going to be really exciting. So for everyone watching at home, Tom has this portfolio of one stock. He's got a bunch of cash in one stock, like so many of our current clients have. Stuff in just one stock and just hoping to God that it just shoots to the moon. Well, our strategy is what we do is and Tom, as you know, because we've had a chat, we meet with our clients and we get an idea of exactly what it is they want. Do they want to leverage that? Do they want to double, triple that portfolio in an X amount of time? Are they looking for cash flow? Are they looking for long-term stability and growth? So we get an idea of exactly what the customer wants. In this case, Tom, we talked to you exactly. And so we came up with a cool plan for you, right, Tom?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what we did for Tom is we said, okay, Tom, what we're thinking based on what it is you want, we're going to slice off about half of that portfolio and stop the losses on it. Take half that portfolio and leverage that into other plays. Like I just had my numbers there. We were up 8% and 7% and 13% and 18% and just in 1 week alone on a couple different plays. So let's get at least, because Tom really likes this one stock. He really thinks it's going to shoot to the moon. That's fine. We could take a chunk of that portfolio, leverage it into building more wealth and more cash for him. In the meantime, as that's happening, he could take the profits from those portfolios that are now profiting or going to be profiting and reinvest, dollar cost average, or reinvest back into that dog of a stock currently. So he buys in at a cheaper price and playing basically again with house money that we've built equity in here. Man, you're going to have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to watching because it is something that I want to look at it in a snapshot, but I certainly don't have the time nor the expertise to be engaged. And it's really funny. I know a lot of people that are quite successful in many realms of business and real estate or other avenues, and myself in a minor capacity it could be included. We do what we do. We do it very well. But just because I'm smart in one area of business doesn't mean I'm smart in anything I do or anything I touch. So that's where Samuel and Pat come in. You guys are the experts. You guys are the ones that I can rely on. And in a snapshot, I can say, wow, great. That's why these guys are doing what they're doing, and that's the benefit that you're offering to me and the other clients. And I know there's a lot of happy participants right now in your financial reboot organization.
Yeah, and look, you're just getting started. So what you're going to see coming down the pipe, and for all those watching at home, this is what you get as a client of ours. You get weekly updates on your exact portfolio, like sent to you, like we've got you in this stock, and this stock, or we should say your portfolio has these stocks, right? Based on what it is you purchase. And then we show you the actual moves, like you're up 4% in this stock, you're up 1% in this stock, and you're up 12% in this stock. So you see on a day-to-day basis exactly how you're doing, so you can get an idea of really if our consulting is working for you. You're gonna love it, Tom. You're really gonna love it. Do you have any final words for people out there that are maybe sitting on a little bit of cash in their savings account? A lot of people, kind of our age, have had a family member pass away, maybe a parent pass away, and left a little chunk of change and not knowing what to do with it. What would you say to those people out there that are just kind of sitting at home watching and not doing anything about it just yet?
Well, the smart thing in any business and any approach is to have your money working for you, and having it stagnant isn't creating asset or value for you. And so I'm in that position now where I've got a little bit of money that I've allocated to one thing in particular, which has just been stagnant. So it's time to become a more proactive approach and have that money work for me, so that my assets can increase, and then we can play with house money, as you referred to earlier, and keep multiplying the value and increasing where my portfolio is going to go, which is in the upward direction.
Yeah. Well, Tom, look, Oh, it's great chatting with you again. I'm thrilled to have you on board as a client. I think you're going to see some really fun moves in your portfolio for the first time in a long time, maybe ever. And it's going to be fun. You're going to really dig it. So tune in on the Facebook group. Pay attention, participate in there, because that's where we do a lot of conversating and questions are asked there. But man, looking forward to watching your portfolio change into something that you've only dreamed of. So welcome aboard, my man.
Outstanding. Thank you, Samuel. And we need more FaceTime with Pat, by the way, because he's the real guru and expert. So
yeah, I know. The only reason they put me out is because I have color for shirts. That's the only reason they got me.
When I hear from Pat, I'm feeling really good.
Right. Well, he's the smart guy. He's the one that actually passed the SAT and got all those words right. I was like, blah, 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 blah. What do I know?
Gotcha. All right, listen, you guys have a great day your way, and I always appreciate your time, and the personal attention is invaluable to me as I'm micromanaging many aspects of my life. So thank you, and thank you to Financial Reboot. You guys are the best.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Okay, so this was a great show. Another great show. I think it was a great show. Don't you think it was a great show? We talked about a lot of things. You heard Tom talk about his case scenario, and I think it probably applies to a lot of you out there watching, kind of stuck in one portfolio or one stock and not knowing how to get out, when to buy, when to sell, what to do, watching it just kind of spiral down the drain. So that was cool. Thank you, Tom, for coming out. Look, always ask us questions. You could text us at 760-254-0003 at any time. If you do it during the show, thank you for the questions during the show today. That was great. You guys are always great. You guys always ask really cool questions, and I love it. So keep them coming in. If you text it during the show live, we will answer them, we promise. If it happens to come in after the show, don't sweat it. We'll put the updates on our Facebook page or we'll answer it at next week's show. We're really good about that because we love your questions. We talked about a couple stock picks. Now, at the beginning of the show, we mentioned, WPX 8.5% since our previous show. ADHD up 7% since our previous show last week. LPI up 18% in just 1 week time since we talked about it last week. And TGD, the Timmins Gold play that we mentioned last week, is up 13%, and that's just in a week. So whoa, a little fly down my throat. So here's the point. The point is, what are we doing here? We can talk and look good on camera and do all this fancy lights and microphones and charts and graphs, but the point is that you're here for a reason. You've got money that you don't know what to do with. We know how to grow it. Bottom line is we know how to grow it. Get your free portfolio review. You'll see it right here on the screen. Text the number 760-254-0003. Text the word review. Get that review. Okay? It doesn't matter if you don't have $1 million portfolio. We can still work with you. If you've got a $5 million portfolio, we could work with you. If you've got, whatever you've got, just ask us, get that review. Let us take a look at what's going on, because look, if you keep doing the same things you've always done, you're always going to get the same results, right? Is that fair? So it's time to do something different. Let's do something different in your portfolio. You're here for a reason. So take massive action inside your finances in your portfolio and utilize us. The reason we built this company is for you to use us. Use us. We've got this amazing skill and this great opportunity of a team that we have built here to leverage big profits in the stock market. And if you're not leveraging us, I don't know what to say. Like, go watch a different YouTube channel. Go watch, Key and Peele, which I usually watch Key and Peele, quite honestly, because they're hilarious. But look, watch us for a reason. Play with the picks that we use, right? Test them out for yourself. Get a review. Come utilize our service. Leverage us. Make money. Leverage us. Make money. I like that. I actually like that. And the guys in the studio are like, oh, that's pretty good. Anyway, thanks again for another great show. You guys are awesome as always. I just can't wait to answer all your questions inside the Facebook group. So you'll see the Facebook link right here. Stay tuned on Facebook, where we post everything on our YouTube channel. Keep texting your questions in, because they're always awesome. There's no dumb questions, just dumb answers usually for me. But Pat is the one that does all the smart guy answers, so he's got all the answers for it. But look, thanks for coming. The reason we do this show is for you, and we don't do it for us. We want to answer your question. We want to help you. That's why we're here. How much value can we actually give you to support you in your investment and financial and wealth goals? That's why we do this. That's why we built the company Financial Reboot. So, as we say every week here at Financial Reboot, until we meet again, make a difference. We'll see you next week.